The language of frequency is incredibly powerful, and when well harnessed, it provides a channel for unparalleled attraction. The rational mind defaults to believing that what you do or say makes a difference in whether your invitations are accepted or not. This is why pickup lines and step by step coaching methodology is what you're drawn to. You meticulously analyze every micro interaction with a woman and think maybe if I said this or leaned into her this way, it would have worked out. There's so much tension and fear based feelings in these reflections. There's no flow. Dating coaches oftentimes illustrate the outcomes of frequency. You can see in the titles of their YouTube videos when to make the first move, approach like this, get her obsessed, the secrets to changing her mind about you. These videos draw you in because they hone in on the fragments of your disjointed frequency, but never give you the full picture. When your frequency is aligned, it flips your script completely. No longer is all the pressure on you to nail an audition word for word. In fact, words are the last thing you are worried about. A man aligned with his frequency knows that the entire process starts and ends in his belief within himself. There's an internal composure that is centered in a man's truth, and it speaks volumes. There's a steady mindfulness about who he is, what he stands for, what his value is, and what he wants to project onto the world that is always running around in his background. It is never abandoned, no matter how distracting the environment. This frequency places him, as well as everyone he interacts with, in a seat of freedom, empowerment, joy, excitement, confidence, curiosity, calmness, and connectedness. This is his gift to the world. That he and everyone he meets is free to bask in it or not. He's an advocate for life, and he wants everyone around him to enjoy it. Not everyone is into you, and that's a blessing. When your frequency is aligned, there will be those who will relish it and some who will not. It's crucial to understand and honor the fact that everyone is on their own journey, and for most, it's a tough ride. A man aligned in his frequency understands this and has compassion for those who are not ready to open up, accept freedom, and joy in their lives, or just are not into him. He doesn't take it personally because it has nothing to do with him. He harnesses compassion as it gives him the ability to distance himself with love. An aligned man can go up to any woman with his frequency and immediately know if this woman is receptive. This is a more powerful gift than you can imagine. For some funny reason, we have it programmed in our minds that who we are attracted to must be attracted to us. Do you see how this mindset cannot set you up for anything but failure? This is such a destructive narrative, and it besets most men and has the power to completely shut them down for the night or sometimes even days following. The power of owning your own frequency is accepting that there will be many who will not want to tune in, and that is completely okay. There may be a myriad of reasons why they're not open to it, and it's not your job to find out or force them to be. But when you begin using your frequency as a filter, you stop wasting your time on those unwilling. You now have that valuable time to branch out to those who will matter to you. When you begin accepting this and embracing its powers, you will begin to notice the levels of interest people give to you. It will no longer be black and white. They like me not. Anytime you try to put a human's emotions in a box, you are asking for disappointment. Sometimes you might get a 20% interest. Other times you might get a 70% interest. And go with the 70% interest and see how things unfold. With these truths, your interactions in the world will shift from how do I impose and shift the way the universe relates to me so that it gives me what I want, which never seems to work for you, to how do I show up, become present, and communicate myself to the universe in a way so that it knows how to provide me with what I want. Just as the literal things you say and do have little impact next to the power of your frequency, the same is for the women you meet. Connection is a dance, not a game. And it's quite cryptic at times and requires, just as a physical dance, a lot of practice. A woman's behavior may appear very odd at times as it clashes with your logic-based male brain. One of the biggest myths that men find themselves grappling with is confusion that occurs when a woman appears to challenge you. This is also referred to as the shit test. It comes in many forms, passive and assertive. It's used at a lot of different periods through the relationship. When it first happens, it feels very abrasive and combative. It's very hard, it's very easy to feel shut down by such an unpleasant experience. But that's exactly what it's intended to do, and it's very necessary. The shit test is not meant as a put down, as our rational brains may observe. It's meant as an opportunity. It's the woman's frequency that is manifesting a scenario where she is wanting to see how centered you are in your own truth. The shit test is actually a sign that they could be interested in you if you first meet them and get it, or at least curious. At the heart of it, it's an invitation. What are you made of? What do you stand for? How will you make me feel safe? This is the translation because love and attraction are a language with a deep, deep depth to every interaction. The literal words of a shit test are enough to make most men sulk away with their tails tucked between their legs. But a man that understands the frequency and the meaning behind it reveal their glorious truth with honor in that moment. Your truth and purpose is the offering of security that all women crave. Your word is your bond. And when you break that bond, a woman cannot feel safe. When your frequency is unclear or clouded, it frightens women because they cannot see you. You can be capable of anything in their minds. This bullshit radar is so ingrained in women's psyches, and it's impossible to sidestep. This, I think, is at the heart of why men have found it so difficult throughout history to understand women. Our brains just don't work like this. Our communication is much more limited to the rationale, logical, and surface level. Our minds tend to see things through a narrowed, focused, detailed lens. Men think from our brains and women think from their hearts. It's hard for men to understand that there is actually poetry in the way we interrelate. It just doesn't innately register to him that this is true. But the dance of a relationship and what you're doing now to explore the meaning is a great invitation. Understanding that at the root of connection is a calling for you to actualize what is at the heart of your very existence and what is at the heart of your desires for your life moving forward. It's a powerfully useful exercise for any man at any point in their lives. The invitation from women is only to know yourself, just as you are right now in this moment, with all your perks and all your flaws, to examine how you fit in and contribute to the greater good, and how well you define your path so that nothing gets in the way of your success, including her. It's the one true way that you can be seen as a man